Hello everyone. So I want to take this opportunity just to show people some of the new things that have happened or tweaks that have been made in the church. Some of them are expensive tweaks, but really important. So for those, as people begin returning to Mass, which is truly wonderful, it's really good to see people coming back to church. You may or may not notice some of these changes that have been happening here at Corpus Christi during the pandemic. Mostly in a physical way, although there's lots of things that are happening online too, directly dealing with ministry of people. But a lot of things have happened in a physical kind of way, but they're always oriented to the spiritual, because the buildings are really meant to serve the people, not people the buildings. So as I go through the church, take a little initial detour outside, I'll be going back and forth, and you'll know what I mean by this. It won't be kind of a seamless 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of thing, but you'll see things that have been updated because they are located in many different areas of the church. So our trusty seminarian Patrick has kindly consented to be my professional cameraman. So let us take a little trip, Patrick, to the heating system of the church. And although you can't physically see the unit, we'll see at least the enclosed area where it's going to be housed in order to be kept safe. So there is a cage around here because it's a construction site right now, but you'll see the wood structure that is surrounding the unit itself and the ventilation systems. That's going to keep it safe from vandalism. That's going to heat our church. That was, as I mentioned before, $165,000, and people were so generous in making that a possibility, because the unit itself was $25,000, I believe. And then to have it installed is $165,000. And those who know construction and these kind of units, you know it's a complex procedure. But that is going to result in dramatically reduced heating bills. It's brand new technology. We're going to get a rebate from Fortis, so a parishioner or a couple of parishioners have reminded us of that, so we'll get something of a rebate. So I just want to thank people so much for their generosity. And when you get warm in the winter, you'll know it was because of you. So that's great. So that's the first thing. Now the second thing that's happened, I got to read from my trusty list here so I get everything, is new lighting that has been put into the church. Now again, it starts right up here. So Patrick, if you could just give a broad shot of the new lights that are here. And you really notice this if you come by late at night. It's much brighter in here. And there's actually more lights, of course, through the entire church. I'll just let Patrick in. Lock the doors because these days everything has to be locked, right, because of the pandemic. So you can see the new lighting that's been put in here. It's all LED technology, and the new switches make things for such easy turning on and off. The white light switches. And as we go, so this is much brighter, and you really get a sense of this when, or you will get a sense when, none of us want this to happen, but the fall will come, right? In the shorter days, and then you really notice it. So you can see the lighting has been changed in here as well, all the lights in the church. And there's even new speakers, but I'll address that in a moment. So Patrick can just come from this undercover area. This is what I mean by several things happening in the same place. But you can see the lighting in the church. The units themselves have not have had to have been changed, but all the bulbs have been changed. They're all LED technology. All you homeowners will know what that means. It means, number one, brighter. That'll help so many people. It'll help all of us actually see better when it gets darker out. It is so much brighter in here. But also the heating bills are going to again drop. Along with the heating bills, the lighting, the electricity bills will drop dramatically because of all this LED technology. It's expensive when you put it in, but it's far worth it as time goes on. And also the lighting along the side, that was basically just kind of dull and dreary and darkish before, but that's not anymore. And it really brings out the murals, those beautiful murals that everybody really likes here at Corpus Christi, and our visitors as well. So it's just going to bring them out more so when it gets darker out earlier. So all new lighting system, and at the very end, I'll show you the panel that's put in for these LED lights. It looks like something out of the space age, but that's what's necessary. So the lighting system is the second thing, and the third is what probably, or could have been the first thing really. It's the one thing that people noticed right away. Right when the pandemic hit and the lockdowns came, we put in the streaming system. There's one camera right there over on the wall, one right behind Patrick. You see that's the streamer. Now that camera, everybody knows how long the aisle is here at Corpus Christi. That camera can get like that in my face, in Father Richard's face. It's powerful. Like that's such advanced technology that's in that camera. So we've got 3 cameras, that one, this one, and one behind the pulpit, and it really takes in all the angles once you're in the church. So that's the second thing, the streaming technology. And I know it's not it's helped us, of course, to stream all the masses and other functions. We've done a couple of other functions as well. Here at the Holy Hour, for example. Now, I know it's not the same. It really can't be and never should be the same. I mean, we want real people in this church. We want people, and it is Catholic, properly Catholic, to have real presence here, just like we have the real presence of Jesus in the tabernacle. It's Catholic to want real people here, their real presence, as soon as they can come back. But it's been a blessing to have this connector between the lockdowns and when we can come back to church. And I fully intend to keep the streaming going for the 5 and the 10 Mass. Once the obligation to come back to Mass is reimposed by His grace, and I have no idea when that's going to happen, most likely in the fall, maybe late fall, but I don't know, then people have to come back. Then the precept of the church is reimposed on people, but there's still massive outreach to those who are falling away, those who are just looking on the internet for something, shut-ins, the sick, those who, and they have camera technology, those people will still be able to view our Mass here at Corpus Christi. So that's been a real blessing for us, and we had somebody, a very generous parishioner, donate money to pay for that system, so it did not have to be taken out of the budget. So the next big project is the back wall of the church. Now the back wall of the sanctuary the reason I had that done, you can see, and it perhaps looks a lot simpler than it really is. That was very difficult to actually get put up there, because apparently the workmen who did it, there's all sorts of cables up top to basically lift it up against, the back wall so that it stands the way it does. So the reason I had this done, is a combination of it looking super dingy. I think everybody knows this, it's no secret. And often the wall is actually soft in the wintertime. You can poke your finger in some parts of it because of the water that's getting in from the heavy rains are coming in through the back. I've spent money in the past trying to close up those gaps, but every builder knows, every homeowner knows, we need water to live, and it's your worst enemy, right? When you're building buildings. If you can control water, you will be a rich contractor, because people will know. Anyways, you all know what water is like. So it's still seeping in. And to really do a thorough job, we'd have to strip the walls, and we would probably wind up spending anywhere from $50,000 to $150,000, $200,000, and starting from scratch. That really can't be done until we finish the school, that whole complex, parish center, daycare, pay down the debt, $7 million, and then start building a fund in order to seismically upgrade the church, which the Archbishop has called for. God willing, I'll still be here when that can happen, but who knows? Because we could get, big donations or big wills bequeathed to us that help us to pay down the debt much sooner than is planned for. Right now, the plan, as I mentioned many times in my Friday videos, of the school is 14 years, $7 million. That's $50,000 a month for 14 years. We've proven to the diocese we can do that. Now each of us needs to step up, and I say that unabashedly because I contribute to the capital campaign, so I'm asking you what I ask of myself, to really prayerfully consider what you can give. The sooner we can take care of that building, school, the sooner we can, plan our upgrade of the church. So that's why the back wall of the church has been done. It was hoped that it'll make it a little nicer, cleaner, at least cleaner to look at. So I'm hoping people like that. Let's see, now, the next thing, two more, is the speaker system. The speakers have been upgraded, much better sound. The old speakers were a good 10 years old and there was gaps in our sound system, dead spots in the church, and the technology has just progressed so much. So again, I was able to get a benefactor for this sound system, and I'll show you the improvements to the console that is in the sacristy. But all the speakers have been renewed, and also behind the altar or behind the pulpit. And then you also see in the sanctuary, sorry, not the sanctuary, but in the choir loft, the two speakers up there. So what will be a big difference now is those speakers are tied into our streaming system. So it'll be much, much better when the choir is singing. It won't be some distant sound, but it'll actually be like they're right there. So, and we've also, at least we're aiming to, if not, it's not already accomplished, because like this was just sort of been working on Friday, this is Saturday, the 12th, is there have been certain dead spots when we use our portable microphone, and they have been eliminated, or they will be eliminated, so that, when we're doing Stations of the Cross, we're having funerals, there's not dead spots in the church, so the sound for the portables has been improved. So that's number 5. And because of all the construction here at Corpus Christi, we have had people very generous with their time, clean things, but it really needs a thorough cleaning before everybody comes back in the fall. So somewhere near the end of June, maybe into July, we're going to have a professional cleaning done of the entire church. So that may be a 2 or 3 day process. So that'll be the last thing, and it'll be just super clean, waxed. The floor's waxed when people come back en masse or full house in the fall. So I'll just take you into the sacristy now, and I'll show you the lighting console and also the new console for the sound system. So I'll just have Patrick follow me into the sacristy. Turn the lights on here so you can see everybody. We'll come over here first, Patrick. This is now the new console for the lighting system, and you can see it looks pretty fancy. But the bottom line is better lights, cheaper electricity, and everybody knows how dingy it could get when you were here at a 5 o'clock Mass in December. Midnight Mass was worse. It's not going to be that way anymore, I can assure you of that. So I think that was good money spent. And this is our new console here for our sound system, or our improved one, I should say. So that's going to deliver better sound for everybody. And a number of sound technicians have told me, and this is a real tragedy, that when churches are being built or improvements are being made to churches, at least it's not just Catholic, it's also our Protestant brethren as well. Sound is one of the last things, or it's one of the first things in the budget that gets cut when the money's tight. and some of these people are Catholic, some are Christian that I've talked to, some are not religious, but they say, if your people can't hear the message, like, what are you up there for? You all want to hear the message, even if I talk too long. But you want to hear the message, right? You want to hear God's word, you want to hear the Mass. And so to have good sound system, this isn't like a Lamborghini version. This is what I would call a good Camry version, which is a good automobile or a good Honda Accord, you know, that kind of thing. This is a good middle of the road sound system that'll really do us well for years to come. So that's the sound system. And I'll just show you our little mission control center for our streaming system. So we've been able to train a couple of streamers to help us stream all the masses. And they've been so generous with their time. So again, it's been really, really simple over time. This was like much more confusion here in the past, but this is where all of our masses are streamed from. That's basically what it's all about. The preset shots are in here. This is sound. No, that's actually disconnected. I don't know what that is, but that's not unusual. I imagine this is the sound here, and of course the main unit. So as you can see, everyone, there's been a lot going on here, and this is just the physical stuff that's been taking place in the parish since the pandemic hit and the lockdowns occurred. I hope, in a special way, Father Conlin and our staff here, hope and pray that you give thanks to God for all of these enhancements, and I'm truly grateful that we've been able to do this. People have been so generous in helping out financially and undoubtedly with their prayers as well. So may the Lord bless you, and let us all pray for a full return to Mass as soon as possible. In the meantime, sign up for our Flock Note emails if you don't get them already. And there is in those emails the opportunity, like a link to Sign Up Genius, to be present at the weekend Masses. The weekday Masses are first come, first serve, no sign up. So first come, first serve for weekday. Sunday, it's first, those who sign up are those who are able to get on and to be present at the Sunday Masses. So I haven't even gone into all the online stuff, the person ministry, that's a whole nother video, perhaps we'll do later. I'll just allude to one thing, our men and women's groups that are now totally online. And it's kind of an outflow from Father Richard's St. Joseph consecration. And there's two really good solid groups, one consisting of men for men's ministry and the other consisting of women for women's ministry, many other things. So we haven't let the pandemic slow us down. We really want everyone to be connected with Jesus Christ and their local church here at Corpus Christi. God bless you, and I hope you've enjoyed this. Okay, everyone, so self-admission here. When the video was uploaded, a parishioner gave me feedback and said, "What about the confessionals, Father?" And I said, "Oh my gosh, I forgot the confessionals. I can't believe it. Maybe it's a Freudian slip, you know? If the confessional is our favorite sacrament, right? But it's the most important thing that's been done in this whole parish as far as I'm concerned. So this is your classic postscript. This is a PS here, all right? So I forgot to mention the confessionals. I want to do the confessionals. One of the first things that I had improved in the church were the confessionals. And as some people may remember, I had to hear them outside, right near off of 48th Avenue in the undercover part, because it was the only place we could figure out that was safe. So when I heard of this company that put in our streaming system, and long story short, found out they could do this because they did it at the cathedral, I asked them to basically completely redo our confessionals. So what I had done was, confessionals are basically totally redone. There's new fiberglass, there's kind of a fiberglass material in the walls. I'll just have Patrick go into the confessional. You'll see pointing, maybe if you just go in there, Patrick, a little bit, yeah. So this material is like a fiberglass material that's really easy to clean. The new HVAC system, that's what sort of forces down the air, and then it goes up the other vent, and all the ventilation system was cleared out as well. So there was quite a bit of work behind this whole scene that as part of the cost of redoing all of this. Also, the seat where I am was all sort of redone, as well as the penitent, the kneelers on the kneeler side, but Patrick will show that. The lights are now all LED, just as they are in the church, so it's much brighter, and that's good for everybody. The material here between penitent and confessor is from a photo lab, and that both protects the anonymity of the penitent, which everybody has the right. Always remember this: you have the right to be anonymous when you go to confession. You never have an obligation to go face to face to a priest. That's the teaching of the church. But it also protects any droplets from going back and forth. So it's enough to hear, but it's also to protect the priest, or I suppose even the penitent, from any droplets going back and forth. So that's the improvement on the confessor side, and you can see the improvement on the penitent side with the kneeler, and also you can see the material right there. So, and I know where to get more of that if for some reason that's broken. So this is all of the materials, the revamping that was done for the confessional. So the confessional is totally safe. So it was paid for by a donor, very generous. So all 4 confessionals were done. So now this basically completes the updates of Corpus Christi. So I really want to encourage people to come back to church. As I make this video, basically 10% or 60 people are allowed to come back for Mass. That's the new figure. And continue visiting our YouTube channel. Come to confession. I mean, I had this done for you. I go to confession elsewhere, but I had this done for you. This will help everyone deal not only with sin, which we all need to deal with. That's what the Lord gave us the sacrament for. Temptation itself, which maybe hasn't gotten to the point of sin, but is really bothering us. And just even stress. The confessional, with the graces that come from mentioning things like, we're so stressed, the grace of the sacrament can really help us in those areas. So I really encourage people to come to confession. It will help you get closer to Christ. You will be encouraged. You may be challenged. That's part of it. We all know that. But we want this to be a place where you are encouraged and reminded that God loves you, and God will do everything He can to help you to become a saint. God bless you.